D&D.
Representing for the players all across the world.
Still
Killing kobolds with my claymore, girl.
Still taking time to perfect the sheet, and I still got time for the feats. It's the D&D. Since the last time I rolled to see, I lost some friends. Well, hell, me and T, we splunking again. Keep your eyes on your sheets. I'm the DM. He's fighting platinum. Mine 50 a week. Still, I put them close to defeat, and even when they think they be beat, then they pull out them feats.
Hello, welcome to Hit Armor Class Awesome with your host, Alex Medell. Basically what this is about is role-playing games. Role-playing games are pen and paper, RPGs, you know, kind of like, if you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, that's the one that most people know. This installment of Thaca is, focused on problem players. For this episode, this is going to relate a lot to Dungeons and Dragons in particular. There's an alignment system in Dungeons and Dragons. It goes from lawful good to chaotic evil, and most DMs ban evil alignments because players who pick evil alignments go like, okay, so I'm neutral evil, and in order to roleplay my character appropriately, I must actively attempt to kill everybody in my party at all times, even when it doesn't seem logical or reasonable to do that. I mean, lawful evil sometimes slips in there, but that's only because lawful evil characters tend to be the smarter of the evil alignment. I mean, that's how people think of them. That's how people roleplay them anyway. They're like, oh no, these people have benefits to me and such, so I should not kill them. But I will always try and rip them off, or, you know, if I really am in a tight situation, I'll try to sell them out, something like that. Excuse me. Worse than the evil alignments, however, is possibly the most deceptive one, which is, I mean, it's not really deceptive if you know what you're getting into. Chaotic neutral. So there's three neutral alignments: lawful neutral, true neutral, and chaotic neutral. Now, what does chaotic neutral mean? Chaotic neutral is supposed to be a free spirit, an anarchist even. Someone who doesn't give a shit about good or evil and has a healthy disdain for the law, something like that. However, some people who choose chaotic neutral do it because the chaotic neutral character, even in the first iterations of D&D, was sometimes just described as an insane person. He's crazy and unpredictable. You never know what he's going to do. He could take a shit on the floor and then just run up to you and give you a big kiss and a hug. You don't know what he's going to do ever, and that's why people choose chaotic neutral, because they have this idea in their head that they have free reign to do whatever they want, and it kind of fluctuates all over the board as far as morality goes. So if they want to go into a room and they see, like, a dog, like, sniffing at, like, somebody, like, they go into, like, a house and they see a dog sniffing in the corner or something, they think that it's within their role-playing rights to either pet the dog, kick the dog, or chop the dog's head off and be like, I'm crazy. But that's not really how it works. I'll give you an example and how this can be bad and just disruptive to the game. Let's say I'm the GM and I say, your party walks into a flowery village and they come upon a gigantic temple of, and even before the DM finishes The chaotic neutral character hears the word temple and goes, I drop my pants and I poop in front of the temple. And if the DM goes, are you sure you want to do that? And the chaotic neutral character, and all the other party members, by the way, are just sitting there like, what the fuck? So the chaotic neutral character immediately, or out of game rather, metagame, kind of just leans on his alignment and goes like, well, it's probably within my RP rights to do it, right? And as a DM, if you have no fail-safes or plans to deal with this kind of douchery, then yes, you can't argue it. But there are ways to circumvent this. And I've had to do this a couple of times. First of all, chaotic neutral characters, though they are chaotic, tend not to be stupid. So, a lot of chaotic neutral characters that are rolled by the people, they tend to have a pretty serviceable intelligence. Sometimes not, and I'll get to that, but they have some kind of, they have like anywhere from a 12 to a 15 up in intelligence. If I came across that situation in which the guy wanted to defecate at the doors of the church, I'd say, as a DM, I'd go, well, your intelligence probably, I mean, it just passively gives you the insight that if you were to do that, it would cause a lot of trouble for you and your party. So you don't do it. And I hate to be that guy that just says you don't do it, but sometimes people really just ask to do stupid shit. Another way to do it, if you don't want to be that guy. If a player wants to play a chaotic neutral character, you go to them and you say, okay, you want to play chaotic neutral, that's fine. And some people can be trusted with the alignment, and it's fine. Other people can't. For the person that you can't, you go up to them and you say, okay, write out a backstory for your character and give it to me. Write out your entire backstory. Describe what kind of character this is, what his motivations are, why he's doing what he's doing. That way, they have to think about the character, they have to write about the character, and they essentially come up with something that's... And you could veto anything if they put in there like, oh, my character likes to eat babies, and then you go like, no, you can't. My character likes to fuck inanimate objects. No, you can't. No! My character likes to poop on everything that walks. So he doesn't like to squat in the toilet. He likes to go up to people and he likes to get up on them with his butt, and he tries to get his poop in their mouth. No. But yeah. So, there are variations of this in other role-playing games too. World of Darkness, for example. You have virtues and vices in World of Darkness. You're going to want to look out for the person who takes wrath as their vice. Sometimes you're going to want to look out for the people who choose lust. Sometimes you're going to want to look out for the people who choose greed. Really, it's anyone. It's any one of them. Envy is usually not so much. Although it can. Wrath is big, greed is big, lust is big. Reason why. Wrath. I even experienced this with a person with whom I trust completely with that kind of stuff. He's like, well, my wrath tells me that I'm angry in this room full of people, and I'm going to try and kill all of them. It's times like this where you have to go, actually, you are wrathful, that's your vice. But I'm assuming that you're not dumb either. So maybe your way of getting at these people is trying to, separate them one by one and killing them that way instead of just going, "Duh!" and like pulling out a sword and trying to kill everybody in the room where you're clearly outnumbered and you're going to die. Lust. Also, this reminds me, never, I don't want to say this never, not never, but if you know a guy who wants to play a female character, don't let him. I mean, not if, okay, if you know him and you know he's not going to pull any shit, fine. But, in general, male characters, or male players who play female characters have a very hard time empathizing with females. And they get creepy. I haven't seen the opposite happen, which is weird. Like, I've seen a guy play a female character and he just goes, alright, so you have to get into this place, this club, and you have to get past the bouncer at the front. And all planning goes out the window when the male who's playing the female goes, oh, I have a plan. I'll go up to him, right? Here we go. And I'll pull out my titties. And he will be overcome by the sight of my titties and therefore must let us pass. I mean, I guess it could work. But it just seems like the male player has just is like, so all I am is a set of boobs and a vagina and that's it. That's not, I mean, I don't know. Women come up with other plans besides this. They have brains. They utilize them. They don't just objectify themselves wherever they go. I've never seen that problem reversed. Ever. I've played with girls. I've never seen, I said that like it was a big fucking revelation. I've played with women. I know how they act. Kind of. I've taken notes. I've never seen the problem reversed. Women know how to play guys. Guys don't always know how to play women. Don't know why. Chaotic neutral thing. Yeah, so that's just, you just want to have some kind of structure that you're ready to follow with the person who is prepared to follow that structure. Because if they're not, then they're going to be dicks about their alignment, and then you're going to be a dick about their alignment, and they're going to get pissed off at you for trying to make the game an enjoyable experience for everybody and not the person who's trying to shit on a nun. Until next time, it was nice talking to you.
It's still play day, pay. Before I craft a spot, stay at home a lot. Cause when I run the plots that I'm known to concoct, can hear the screams of fools when I fall them rocks. Elven ladies, they pay homage. The players say, hey fellow, how? My last game was supersonic. How they wondering if I still got it? They say the game's changed. They wanna know what I think about it.
If you ain't rolling dice,
Game Master A is the name, and I'm running this game. Still reading the splat, still planning attacks, still not what